just to for those who joined us late, the APAC Azure Data Community has a Meetup group. If you haven't registered or haven't joined the Meetup, you can grab the QR code from here or look for us in Meetup. We're gonna start posting our events through that Meetup page. So if you want to be updated and you want to connect with us, you can go and join the Meetup group. And like I mentioned earlier, if you're looking for your local communities for SQL Server, there's an Azure Data Tech group on Meetup. You can quickly search for the local communities in your country. You can find us. You can scan the QR code and then you can check it out on Meetup. With that, I would like to go to our last session for today. Uh, like I said, it's getting started with Power BI Paginated Reports. Our speaker is Dhruvin Shah. He's a lead developer for Binary Republic. He's a Power BI architect and a Power Platform specialist. If you joined us last year for data sessions, you also speak up something about Power BI last data sessions for APAC. So let me just check. I think I already made him a presenter.
Yes. Hi, Pio.
There you go. Hi, Dhruvin.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good, good, good. You can have control and you can start sharing us when you're ready.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you again for joining us and speaking again this session. Uh, yeah. For everyone who stayed for the whole afternoon, thank you very much for joining us today. Our last session. I'm gonna hand it over to Dhruvin. Dhruvin, all yours.
All, all right. Thank you so much, Pio, and thanks a lot for this wonderful opportunity. So, hi everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are. You join me at this Azure APAC Data event. I welcome you all to attending my session. So, in this session, I'm going to talk about the paginated reports in Power BI. So, basically, we are going to talk about each individual thing, or let's say, if you are preparing for DA 100 examination as well. So, paginated topic is a new topic that has been introduced in that course. So basically I'm going to give you an overview and basic understanding that how anyone can start with the paginated reports with Power BI. So let's get started and talk about each individual thing in detail over here in this session. So before we get started, let me just give you a little bit introduction about me. Myself, Dhruvin Shah, and I'm working as a Power BI and Power Platform specialist at India. I'm an active blogger and YouTuber, having published 500 plus tech videos on different Microsoft technologies like Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate. So you can check out all of this thing using this small URL, that is linktree/Dhruvin.Shah. So once you click on this link, it will simply redirecting you to one of the page where you will find my all social media handles link, and you can follow me over there. So you can find me on YouTube, website, Instagram, every platform from here. Now let me get started with today's session agenda that we are going to cover throughout this entire session. So first of all, I am going to talk about what is paginated report. And when anyone is starting with paginated report, most of the time we have confusions like which type of licenses do we need and how as a developer we can get started. So you will get all of those answers over here. After that, we will get started with real Power BI paginated report development with SQL Server as a backend data source. So I'm going to use one on-premise data source. So you will also get an idea that while we are publishing that paginated report, which type of gateway do we need to install and how the refresh is performed over that. So we will be talking about each individual thing over there, and we will also build one report template as well. So one header, footer, and some body section, and we will create one pixel perfect paginated report over there. So this is the overall agenda that we are going to cover in next 50 minutes. Now let's get started with our first topic, that what is paginated report. So paginated report is a pixel perfect view of the data. Now most of the time what happen here is in our organization when we do need a printing functionality, at that time we need our visualization or tables to be placed in such a manner that it should be pixel perfect, means its header, footer, margin, everything should be perfect. So if you have those kind of requirement, the paginated report is perfect for you. Now what do we mean by pixel perfect? Pixel perfect meaning that you have a total control on your data, that how report is rendering on your page. Now sometime what happen here is let's say we are preparing some report and we have a requirement that it should have some header that should be printed on each individual report pages while they are printing the thing. Let's say I have 1,000 rows in my database table, and while it is printing around 25 to 50 pages, so on each page there should be a header as well as footer section with the page number as well. So at that time this paginated report is perfect for you. Now the question is like, is paginated report is something totally new in the market? So no, it's not 100% new. Like if you are aware about the existing SSRS report, so it's a descendant of this existing SSRS report, so almost similar mechanism is there in order to get started with that. Now as we discussed that when we can use the paginated report, so some of the examples, like we wanted to have a requirement of sales invoice or receipts or purchase order or any tabular format data. So at the time this paginated report is perfect. And specifically when you have the printing feature, you need printing option for a report, this paginated report works best for you. Now also let me talk about which type of licensing do we need in order to get started with paginated report. So most of the time you need either Power BI premium license, or now Microsoft introduced one of the new licensing capability, that is premium per user license. So in order to get started with paginated report, you can use any of these licenses. And if you wanted to do some POCs, and if you wanted to publish and try and test this functionality, I would recommend that you can go with premium per user license. Nowadays it is available with the 60-day trial, and I will show you that how to activate the trial as well for a Power BI tenant, so you will get a more idea. And apart from that, in order to build the thing, like in order to build the report, you need a Power BI report builder. Now this report builder is something which is another tool similar like Power BI desktop, and I will also show you that how to download and install that thing as well. So I think I covered the theoretical portion. Now let's move over to the practical part and the real example and how to get started with paginated report. So as I told you at the very beginning that we need premium per user license. Now how to activate that premium per user license, let me show you. So let's say for an example, currently I would logged in with my Power BI service account. So first of all, what you can do here is just click on your profile image, and here you will be able to see after pro account premium per user option. Once you click on that, it will ask you an option that activate the trial for premium per user. So at this moment I already activated that, so it is showing me that premium per user trial is activated over here, and trial is 47-day left over here. You can cancel that trial at any moment when you do not want it to use as well. So this is how you can go with that. After that, second most important point that we need to consider here is we need to publish that publish our paginated report into premium workspace. Now how to create premium workspace? So for that, go to the workspace section, and here you have an option called create workspace. Now it is similar, like let's create one workspace over here, that APAC data April 2021, and just go to the advanced option. Here you have an option for premium capacity. Just turn it on. Once you turn it on, it will show you two options. Choose an available premium capacity for this workspace. So at this moment I have already activated trial, so it is showing me central US. It's totally depend on your data center that your tenant is exist, so it is different from one tenant to another tenant, and default storage format is small data sort format at this moment. And now I'm just clicking on save. So what happened here is it will create one premium capacity workspace for me. Now you can see that I have premium per user license. Now you can see this diamond icon after the workspace name, and you can see the user icon as well, meaning this premium workspace is created with premium per user. If you are only able to see the diamond icon, meaning that you have Power BI premium license and it is created with premium workspace. So this is the very first thing that we need to do. Now what would be the next step? The next step is we need to download and install Power BI Report Builder. So how to download that? So just go to the download option. Here you have an option called Paginated Report Builder. Click on that. It will redirecting you to this page, and from here you can download the Power BI Report Builder based on your system requirement, right? So I already downloaded and installed that. It's a very simple process. Next, 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 and that will be installed just like you are installing Power BI desktop. So I'm not going to go with that step, but now once you install that, it will show you similar kind of icon to you over here. So let me just open up the Power BI Report Builder. So this is the screen for Power BI Report Builder when you are creating a new report for the first time. Right now, let me talk about few more things here. So like when we open this particular report builder, which are the section that we are able to see here, and what is the purpose of each individual section on here. So I'm just giving you an overview just because if anyone comes for the first time, they will get an idea that how it is going to look like. So when you open the paginated report Power BI report builder for the first time, first of all on the top ribbon we have the similar save and undo redo option. Then we have menu bar where we have different menu options available, and basically on the top right corner you are able to sign in with your Power BI service account. Then on the middle section it is a canvas where we need to design and build our paginated report. Then on the right hand side we have the property panel. So let's say if we select any of the property, we are able to change any of the configuration UI property using this option. And over here we have the report data pane where we can have the different built-in fields, parameters, data source and data sets that we are connecting over here. And on the bottom side of this particular report we have the row groups and column groups, as well as some of the functionality to zoom in and zoom out our canvas over here. So you can check it out and go over there. So this is the basic idea about the screen component that we are able to see on the paginated report. Right now let me show you which type of report we wanted to generate here. So basically, as I told you, like I'm going to use SQL Server as my backend data source. Right now the very first step is that let me show you my database structure that I have and what I want to represent into this particular report. So here I have opened my SQL Server on-premise data source and I have a database called SalesDB. And do not worry, I'm going to provide this backup file of this dataset as well as the RDL file that we are going to create for this paginated report to my GitHub repository on Google Drive. And so you can directly go and download this dataset and practice as well. And I'm sure like at the end of this particular session, you will be able to build the first paginated report with few easy steps. Now here I have 4 different tables called customers, employees, product and sales. Now basically it has all the information about the different sales type by each individual customer and who has the person who has sold this particular things to the customer. So here first of all expand I have created one store procedure for that to fetch the data from the different table. So let me just give you an idea like what the store procedure has I have over here. So basically I have created a stored procedure with get sales data, and here I have a parameter called salesperson ID, meaning whatever the employee ID that I'm passing, I wanted to show how many sales he has done throughout the stuff. So here I have joined different table and apply some relationship and created this store procedure. And now let me just execute, and do not worry about this store procedure structure. It is very simple, very basic store procedure, just using the inner join and apply the relationship between the different tables. So do not need to focus more on the database structure, but let me show you the output that is generated by this store procedure. So let's say I'm passing one parameter over here and clicking on OK. So what happened here is it will show the sales data for the sales ID, salesperson ID 24. So 24 person ID's name is somewhat, which is Dhruvin. So employee name is Dhruvin, and he has this many of customer, and those customer has purchased this many of products throughout the year. So you can see here salesperson ID is 24 and their different customers, as well as whatever the product that they have purchased throughout the year, and customer information with its price, quantity, everything, right? So this is the end outcome. Now the same thing I wanted to have with the paginated report. So the very first step that we need to consider here is we need to add our data source and data set into our paginated report. So how we can connect our SQL server in paginated report with Power BI report builder. So open up your report builder. The very first step is that you need to go to the data source, and here you have two options: add Power BI dataset connection and add data source. Now what do we mean by add Power BI dataset connection? So let's say for an example, if you published any of your Power BI report earlier and you want to use that existing dataset into paginated report, you can also use that. So once you click that, it will show you all the workspace and all the data sets that are available for those workspace to you over here. So we are not going to use this option at this moment, and if you wanted to explore more about those Power BI dataset, I've created some more content on that on my YouTube channel, so I will share you at the end of the session. So meantime, let's click on add data source, and over here the first step is that we need to provide the name for our data source, that is salesdb. Let's provide. And from connection type, at this moment this many of data sources are supported with Power BI Paginated Report. So Azure Analysis Service, Synapse Analytics, Dataverse, Azure SQL Server, SQL Server Analysis Service, ODBC Connector, Oracle, and Teradata. Now let me just select over here as SQL Server, and then we need to build the connection string. So just click on that, and that will open up a pop-up for you where you need to provide the server name. So let me just provide the server name over here. So let me go to the SQL server and let me just copy my server name from here. So I'm just using this one, and I want to use SQL Server authentication. So I'm just need to provide my SQL Server authentication password over here, and I just wanted to save this password over here and just wanted to test the connection. So test connection has been succeeded. Now just select the database that you want to connect. So my database name is salesdb, and just click on OK. So that will create the connection string for you, and from here as well you can test the connection, right? And now just click on OK. So you can see that the data source connection has been established successfully. Now what would be the next step? So yes, we connected our database. Now it's time to call that stored procedure and have all the fields available into my data set. So once you add the data source, the very next step is that you need to add data set. So right click on that and click on add data set. So it will open dataset properties for you, and over here first of all we need to provide the name of your dataset. So let me provide my dataset name as sales dataset, and here we already selected the data source that we have just added. Now here you can see three different options: text, table, and store procedure. Here table option is something which is disabled. Now why it is disabled, let me tell you. We are using SQL Server on-premise data source. So on SQL Server on-premise data source, if you are using with paginated report, you only have two capability. Either you can pass your query here, or you can call a store procedure over here. So if you have inserted any query, you can simply add that query, or you can also have the store procedure option as well over here. So let's click on store procedure that we have created. Now once you select that, it will show you all the store procedure that has been created on that server. So let me select my store procedure as sp get sales data. And now let me do one thing. Click on query designer and let me execute this store procedure, and let me check the end outcome if I'm getting the proper data over here or not. So once you go here, just execute your store procedure, and it is asking for parameter because my procedure has one parameter over there. So let me pass one of the ID over here and just click on OK. So you can see that I can see the entire outcome perfectly over here. So meaning my procedure ran successfully here, and we just simply need to click on OK. And what happened here is whatever the end outcome that is given by that stored procedure, all those columns will be visible to me over here onto my dataset section. Now what would be the next step? We have configured our data source and data set. Now let's talk about the parameter. So as you can see in my SQL Server stored procedure, we have one parameter called salesperson ID. Now what I wanted to have from the end user is I wanted to have that as a user input from my Power BI, Power BI Paginated Report. So I need to, whenever I edit that store procedure, that value is automatically added in the parameter section. So once you open that parameter section, you can see that parameter has been added over here. Now one more thing, like let's say for an example, at this moment if you go here and simply run your report, then what happened here is it will not show anything to you over here, and you can see that it is showing one text box value for you. Now you wanted to have a functionality that when user will load the report for the first time, by default this user's thing should be visible to them. So at this moment we need to set the default value for our parameter. For that, select your parameter, go to the parameter properties, and over there just go for default values, and here let's specify our value. So let's say I just wanted to specify my value as 24 as static, so I can define it over here. You can also get this value from another query as well. Over here the option is also provided, but let's go with the specify value at this moment and click on OK. So at this moment what happened here is now whenever we load our report for the first time, by default 24's employee ID will be visible over there, and it will load the data according to it. So these are the all report data properties. Now the very important step is that let's save our paginated report. So I'm just storing my paginated report at sales report APAC data April, and just click save. And now it's time to design our report. Now this is the report canvas, and first of all for paginated report, most of the time what basic things we are going to do here is basically it is the report title, this is our footer section, and this is the body section. Now I wanted to apply header as well, but before that let me give you an idea that what other things as well you can add in your paginated report. So at this moment you can add table, matrix, list, different type of chart like using chart wizard, gauges, map, data bar, sparkline, indicator over here. You can also create the sub report as well, like in SSRS what we were doing is like when we open up first report and there should be one another link, and when we click on that link it should open my sub report. So that kind of functionality also you can achieve with the paginated report, and if you wanted to know more about that I will prepare some another separate sessions for that, so go over there. I will provide the link at the end, and meantime let's create our first basic paginated report. So this is the insert menu idea. Now let's say for an example I'm clicking on the body section on my canvas, so you can see that under properties I can see which property is being selected from my canvas. So it is showing here as body. Now let's say I'm selecting this title. So it is showing me this property is report title. If I'm selecting this, it is showing me page footer. So if you wanted to know that which property is being selected, which part of the canvas is being selected, simply click on that, and from property panel you will find its name. Now to add the header, first of all go to the header section and click on add header. So you can see that it has added one header section for me. Let me just zoom out a little bit so I have a non-scrollable canvas for me. And now what I want to do here is I just wanted to move my report title into header section. So I will simply click here and just move it on the top like this, and you can simply provide the name of your report as sales report. Right now, one more important thing, when you select this property you are able to change its position and everything in pixel format. So when you click on this position property, you can see that left and top is 0 centimeter and millimeter. Also you have different other options as well as a position setting, like you can set the inches format as well. So you just need to type in over here and your values are going into inches format. Now let me just decrease this width. And now after that I want to add one image as well over here, logo. So I will go to the insert, click on image, and I will add one image over here, and it will ask me to import the image. So I will go here and upload one of the image and click OK. So it has added this image for me over here. Now the next step is that I wanted to have functionality that whatever the let's say salesperson ID that has been selected, I wanted to show over here into one of the text box, as well as I wanted to show the employee name as well. So on each header I wanted to show that thing so that user will get an idea that this is the employee that has sold this many of items throughout the year. So I will add one text box and just add a property salesperson number, and then wanted to show that property. So right click on that and click on placeholder. So it will open up this property and salesperson number, and just go to the value and click on expression. So similar like SSRS expression you have. So I wanted to show whatever the user has been inserted into the text box. So I will go to the parameter section and this value I wanted to show. So I will double click on that and it will automatically add that property here, and click on OK and just hit OK. So whatever the salesperson value would be there, it will visible to me over here. Similar way, I wanted to show the salesperson name as well. So I will go again to the insert menu and click on text box and just added that text box over here and just wanted to show salesperson name. And over here, right click and create placeholder. Just provide sales label and click on expression. Here I wanted to have my first and last name of their employee. So what I will do is I will drag first name, then I will want to concatenate. So I will use n person, double inverted comma, space, n person, and just have the last name. So this is the formula that has been created. Here the beauty of this expression is that you can use many of expression, as well as if you wanted to add some conditional things over here, you can also do it over here, and just click OK and click over here. Now we have configured our header part. Now let me just run it out and show you that how it is looking like. So as you can see that we have set our default parameter as 24 over here. So whenever the user will run the report for the first time, it will show automatically load the 24 value over here. So you can see that on the header I wanted to show 24 over here, and who is the employee associated with 424 ID. So it's Dhruvin, so its name is showing over here. Now this is the header section, and over here you can see one date. So this is the execution time. So at this moment it is just executed, so it is showing me the current time over here. Now you can also configure your footer as well. So let's say I wanted to have a functionality that I wanted to show page number. So how can I do that? So just double click on this existing property, go here and just click on this built-in fields where you have things like overall page number and total pages. So let's say I just wanted to show that how many pages are there at this moment, in which page we are. So we will select overall page number, and after that I wanted to show uh, how many pages are there total in the report. So I will just embed one string and I will add overall total pages and just press ampersand and just hit OK. So what happened here is, let's try to run this thing and let's see what we are getting here, like if our formula is perfect or not. Let's check it out over here. So you can see that at this moment in report one page is there, so we are in the first page of total one pages, right? Now click on design, and now let's show our data in the tabular format. So for that what we will do here is, we will just go to the insert option and just select the tabular property, and we will just insert one table, and let's select our table like this. And if you wanted to add more column, select and insert column to the right. So I just added this table onto my report page. Now we need to configure different properties. Like for that you can see this kind of ellipsis, one tabular icon, select that. Now I just wanted to show the sales ID over here first, then I wanted to check the customer name, so I will choose that column. Then I wanted to have the product name as well, so I will select this column. Then I wanted to have quantity and total sales that has been done, so price I wanted to have. Now just change the header name, so customer name, and this is the product name. So let's just rename our header, this is quantity and price. Now here we have different formatting properties as well. So let me just have this product name with some more space. So that is how we can just utilize our thing. You can simply drag and drop and choose the different stuff. But what would be the best recommended way is, like you can select this and use this particular tablix property, because it will provide you excel pixel perfect thing, because in printing we need a perfection. So I would recommend to set the different position from here. So it's a very simple and straightforward, so you can explore that by your own, because these properties are different for each individual control, and it is very easy to understand as well. Now let's say I just wanted to apply some colors to my header, so I will select this entire row, and let's just apply some background color over here. So let's apply some blue color at the background and just change the font color as white, so it will looking like this, right? Now I wanted to have like this quantity and price is columns are something which should be appear on the right hand side, so I will select that and I will just change the text align to right, so it will set perfectly over here. Now one more question arise in our mind, that I wanted to show the total as well for price and quantity, so how can I do that? But before we do that, let's run this report and see how it is looking like. So I'm just running this report, and let it to be loaded, and here we are, the report is looking like this. Now you can see that on the header I have two pages, right? So this is the first page where I can see this header, this icon, and this table header. Now I'm going to the next page. Over here you can also see on the next page this header remains the same, and this table is also continued over here, right? Now what I want to do here is I want to show total as well. So what I need to do here is I just need to go to this quantity field, or maybe you can simply expand this particular row groups, column groups, and click on advanced mode. Here you can see that this is our header section, right? Now we wanted to add the totals, right? So for that, just right click here on this particular column and just have a property here as add total. So let's select that. So you can see that it will showing the table. Similar way for price as well, we wanted to see total, so add total, right? And let's just change the color of this total row. So I will just change the background color as green, right? So we will get a better idea. Now what happened here is when we run this particular paginated report, what happened here is we are facing one challenge here. Like it is generated the report via each page, that two pages are there. This is the first page where we can see table header, but on the second page when you go, you can see that table header is not visible. Meaning what happened here is if you print the report, you need to check like which column is this associated with this particular thing. So for that, what we need to do here is we need to repeat my header on every page. So we need to configure that property, right? So for that, just go to the column option and click on advanced mode. So that will show you all the sections that is available on the table. Now just click on your header, and here you are able to see an option that repeat on new page, and just make it true. Then what happen here is this will repeat table header on each page. Now let's run the report and let's see that if you are able to see the header on each individual page over there or not. So I'm selecting that, and let's see, this is the first page, and now I'm going to next page, and over here you can see that now the header is appear to me, right? So this is how you can configure our simple paginated report. Now it's time to publish the report into Power BI service. So simply sign in over here and just click on publish. So what happened here is it will show you all the different workspaces that are available. So at the session beginning, we have created a workspace that APAC data April 2021. And here you can see that it is showing me the paginated report premium per user icon as well here. And now we just need to provide our file name. So let me just provide my file name as sales report, and let me click on save. Then what happen here is it will store that report into that workspace. Just click on save and let it to be done. Alright, so the report has been saved to that workspace. Now let me just open up my Power BI service, and you can see over here as well on success message that paginated report uploaded. So if we go to that workspace, we are able to see that paginated report, but when we open and try to open up that report, it will not show anything to us at this moment. It will throw us an error. Let's see what we are getting here. The reason is that we have used the on-premise data source and we haven't configured the gateway. So let's configure the gateway. So to install the gateway, it's a simple procedure. Just go here and just click on data gateway. So it will redirecting you to data gateway page. From there you are able to see two type of gateway, standard mode and personal mode. If you wanted to know more difference, the separate video with detailed discussion is available on my channel, so you can go through that. At this moment we are going to download standard mode and install that. So I already downloaded that thing. Now I'm going to show you the installation step for that. So at this moment this is the one that has been downloaded. So I'm just double clicking on that and trying to install that on my server. So the first step is that accepting terms and condition and click on install. So it is opening me administrator privileges in order to install the gateway. So make sure that if you have enough administrator privileges, only at that time you will be able to install this gateway on your server. So let's just let it to be installed. This will take some amount of time to install the gateway. Once we are able to install the gateway, once we install the gateway over here, it will show that particular gateway onto our Power BI service, and after that we need to configure that property over there. So let it to be installed. This will take some amount of time for your thing. Meantime, let me show you some another procedure until it will reach up to next over here. So let me just open up my report builder, and another thing that I wanted to show. So here in paginated report, the thing is that, like, as we can see here, this is one of my table and every row is repeated over here. Now apart from this table visualization, you can add many other visualization as well, and which are also having some perfect functionality. So just go to the insert menu and just add, like if you wanted to add any chat or any gauge, simply you need to select that, and based on that you simply need to configure different properties, right? So it's not something that it only supports the table, it supports the other visualization as well. And if you wanted to know more about that thing in detail, I will provide that stuff to you later on as well. So the as we can see that progress has been done, and now it is asking me to insert my get email address for this configuration. So let me just add my email address over here. So I just added my email address over here like this, and now just click on sign in. So this is the same email address that you need to use for your this particular Power BI service account, right, where we have published the report. So use the same email address, and after that we just simply need to add our credentials. And then there is an option to register a new gateway on this computer. So let's click on next and just provide the name of your on-premise data gateway. So I'm just providing APAC data gateway 2021, and then you just simply need to provide the any recovery key if you wanted to recover this gateway. So I'm just providing any recovery key over here. It should be 8 letters minimum, and just click on configure. So the gateway has been configured on this particular server. Let it to be configured, and you can see here the gateway is online and ready to use. Now you need to go to your Power BI report here and just need to manage that gateway. So from here just go to the manage gateway section, and here you can see that the installed gateway by us. So this is the gateway that we just installed, and now it's time to add the data source to that gateway. So we need to add our SQL Server dataset over here. So go to the data source setting and just provide any data source name, SQL APAC, and select the data source type. So it is SQL Server dataset. So let's select SQL Server and just provide the server name. So my server name is this one. Let's copy that and provide the database name as well. So my database name is SalesDB. So let's provide that. right? And provide the authentication mechanism. So basic authentication I want to apply, and we can simply click on add. And now let's test this particular connection. So connection is successful. Now we need to go to our workspace, and now right click on this ellipsis, and from here we just need to click on the setting here. We just simply need to click on manage, and that will open up the setting for the gateway connection. So from here we will select our APAC data event, because this is the gateway which is already running. I already configured some of the gateway earlier and which are not live at this moment, so it is showing me like this. But over here you can choose the already running gateway from here. So I just wanted to map that as this particular source and click on apply. So now the gateway configuration has been done successfully, and sales DB is also being performed. Now we just simply need to go to the workspace, and let's try to open up the report and let's see what we are getting over here. And this is our Power BI service, and we are trying to accessing this report. And now the gateway configuration is also done successfully. So let it to be loaded. And here we are. Now you can see that the report is successfully able to we are successfully able to see the report on our Power BI service. And here you can see that two pages are there. This is the first page and we have second page. So here also you can go to this navigation and open up the second page as well. As well as here there are lots of good options, like if you wanted to print this report or if you wanted to see the page view, then you can move it to the page view and it will give you the paper size that you have defined in your report. That report will be looking like. Now here you can see that when you print this report it will looking like this. Now you can see that some of the portion is cutting off from here, meaning that we have some design issue in our report. So what we need to go here is we need to go here again and just need to use the properties and set those property in a perfect manner using the pixel perfect thing, right? So that's why it is called the pixel perfection. Like even with small pixel it is overlapping the thing, and that is easily identified over here. And it will provide the different page setting as well, like in which page you wanted to print, A3, A4, as well as during the designing time it is also providing the body properties as well to you. Like I'm right clicking here and report properties, then I can define portrait or landscape, any mode from here. So I wanted to have an A4 size, so I just defined this report into A4. But depending on your requirement you can choose the different page layout as well. Now I can also export this report into Excel, PDF, PPT, so many other formats. So this is the beauty of this paginated report. So I wanted to export this entire thing into PDF. I will select that and it will provide me the export PDF for this sales report, and this will looking like this. Of course you need to make some design improvement over here, and that is how this overall report is looking like. So I think I covered almost everything from starting to ending, that how you can get started, how you design the template, how you publish the report, how you can install the gateway, and how you can leverage this capability over here. So hope this session help you, and now you are able to build your first Power BI paginated report over here. So I think I'm good. And before we wrap up everything, I would recommend you about the other options. Like if you wanted to know more detailed concept about paginated report, or if you wanted to know some another cool things that I have not covered in this session due to time, like sub report thing, or how you can add different charts, KPIs, everything. So you can simply visit my YouTube channel. You can simply search my name, you will be find my channel on YouTube, so you can subscribe that and check out different things over here. Here I have uploaded so many other videos related Paginated Report and other Power Platform thing as well, so you can check out. And if you have any question or anything, you can put into chat window, as well as you can directly connect me on all my social media handles, which I provided in the link as linktree/Dhruvin.Shah. And also one another interesting thing I wanted to share, like if you are interested for different cool feature related Power Platform and Power BI related thing, here I have created one Instagram account where the Insta ID is Power Platform Guy. Let me show you if it is open in any of my machine. So you can find different short video on my Instagram page as well. So just go there and follow me on my Insta handle as well. Let me just, this is the Instagram account. So these are when you are doing Instagramming, and if you wanted to have some reels related to Power Platform and different short tricks and tips, you can follow me on this Insta ID as well. So I think I covered almost everything, and the URL is linktree/Dhruvin.Shah. So if anyone has any question, feel free to add the question in the chat window. I will happy to answer your question. Okay.
Awesome stuff,
Awesome stuff.
Dhruvin.
Thanks
We
a
do
lot,
have
Priya.
a question on chat.
Yes, I have one question in the chat. Handron, would you recommend paginated Power BI over Crystal reports or Jasper report? If yes, what are the benefits in terms of rendering speed, resolution, and printing? So yes, actually at this moment what happened here is, if we talk about the real scenario, nowadays we are having so many projects on converting the existing Crystal reports to the new Power BI Paginated report. It provides most of the functionality that is provided by the existing SSRS or as well as Crystal reports. Now let me talk about the rendering speed. What's the advantage over there and what's the benefit over there? So like let's say for an example, it's depend on the capacity that you are purchasing for your Power BI service. So let's say for an example, currently I'm using premium per user over here, but if you have some higher capacity node of your workspace, the rendering speed is depending on that. And about like print 1,000 pages, like I can say this will definitely take some time. And as I told you, it's depending on the capacity. If you are purchasing the higher capacity with premium workspace like P1 node or P2 node, or even with P3 higher node, then the printing would be in much faster manner. But for the lower capacity, it will has the lesser speed over there. And yes, for 1,000 page approximately I can say this will take some amount of time, around 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, like that we need to consider. So hope I answer your question. If anyone has any other question, feel free to. All right, thanks. And yes, as I told you, also depend on the capacity. So before you go for actual paginated report, just connect the Microsoft support before you purchase the license. They will provide you more information about the different SKUs, and based on that, it will provide you the more information about that as well. Yep. Anything else?
Going once for the questions. Yeah, I think for just touching on that question again. For Power BI, it's the same thing with SSRS. If you're talking about the advantage and disadvantage between Crystal Reports and other reporting solution, it's if your back end and if your application is on .NET and it's on SQL Server, it's the two SSRS and Power BI is more native. So that's one advantage. And the rich, for me, the rich UI interface for developing the reports compared to business objects. But yeah, I'm not a report developer, so I don't do it that much. I think the last time I touched Crystal Reports is 10, 12 years ago. So
Exactly. You are saying right, Pio. Like at this moment, Paginated Report provide the much flexible UI, and only apart from table you can do lots of things. Similar way in SSRS as well, we were able to do. So it's a new thing. Like most of the time, people are having Power BI report in place, and they have question like, what about the printing thing? So at that time, mostly Paginated Report. As pixel perfect and for printing purposes the people wanted to use, then we can go with that thing. And now the beauty of this pagination report is Microsoft introduced premium per user as well. So now for a smaller organization as well, they wanted to have this kind of functionality they can easily implement. Earlier what happened here is they need to purchase a costly license for P1 capacity or P2 capacity, which was more costlier. And now its premium per user is something which is 20 USD per month per user. So in organization, if someone need a printing feature, then they can go with that licensing, and that feature is available for them.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Uh, Last chance to drop your question on the chat. If there's no more questions, then I would like to thank Dhruvin for his time and for sharing with us today, and for everyone who attended the sessions, especially those who have been with us since the first session. Thank you very much for dedicating your Saturday afternoon for with us, learning about data. So I think the next data day for APAC will be maybe in 2 months. So watch out for that. But for now, thank you very much, and I hope you have a good weekend ahead of you.